Hello and welcome to Jill Cameron Creations. Today I'm participating in the Paper Crafters Against Racism blog hop, YouTube hop, and Instagram hop. So I have actually 5 different cards and also some SVG files to share with y'all today. And what I did was I created 5 different cards, all of them with messages of encouragement, kindness, and love that you could share with anybody that you wanted to. So for the first 3 cards, I'm actually going to create some watercolor backgrounds. I'm going to do a slimline card and 2 A2 cards, which are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, traditional cards that I normally do. They're going to be landscaped cards. And then we are going to do some alcohol ink backgrounds as well. While I'm doing this, I am using my watercolor set that I cannot pronounce the name of, but I will link to in the description below in the products that I used. I am using a flat, wide watercolor brush from Nuvo, nothing fancy, and I am going to change my water out a couple of times in between my color groups. So I am doing just stripes of color across my paper. My slimline card is going to have really bold, bright color. The middle panel is going to be an amalgamation of a bunch of different colors that kind of run together, and it's going to be, looks like a hot mess, but it's absolutely gorgeous in the end. The third panel that's on the far right is going to be a little bit softer. It's going to be a more, I won't say pastel-y colors, but it's going to be softer colors. The Gansai Tambi, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm going to go with that. The watercolors are more creamy colors than, let's say, other brands or like watercolor markers or something like that. These are a tad bit more opaque. They're a little creamier. So you can get some really bold color with this set of watercolors. And that's exactly what I did with this particular set on the slimline card panel. The watercolor paper that I'm using is just Strathmore watercolor paper, and it is the, I'm looking to see if it has a number on it. It's the 400 series. It's nothing fancy or anything like that. It's, you know, you can go and pick it up at your local big box store, order it online at a bazillion different places. So it's nothing fancy because I'm not somebody that does watercolor pictures, portraits, I just use it for a background and to color in flowers and stuff every once in a while. So it's nothing particularly special or expensive. I did heat set this, and while I was heat setting this, I added some more water to a couple different places and just moved the watercolors around. So I have some stripes at the top of this, and then I also have kind of this melding of colors at the bottom. And I add some different colors here and there, and I dab it with a paper towel and add some color with a paper towel just to give it some movement and this really wonderfully weird look to it. And it's almost like an alcohol ink background, which is pretty flippin' awesome in watercolor land. So I dabbed all of it off, so you have some of these white places on it, and I'm going to dab it with some, sprinkle some more water on it in just a minute. And I really like how this background turned out. It was kind of an oops because I was going to do 3 striped backgrounds, but at the same time I was like, let's do something a little different. So I went ahead and did something different. And while I was fooling with this, my other 2 panels dried just enough to where I needed them to, because as I'm changing colors here, next is going to be greens. I didn't want that transition between the yellow and the green to get muddy or weird, so I swapped, made sure that my water was clean, and now I'm going to go ahead and dry this a little bit more so that I don't have any places from my yellow that run into my green and be weird. Okay, so I'm going to finish this. I'm going to change out my water say that 5 times fast one more time as I switch back between the blues and back into the reds. But other than that, I'm just gonna finish up doing my colors here and make sure that I have really bold colors and then a little bit softer colors. So the SVG files that I have for you are words of encouragement that pair really, really well with some existing stamp sets that are out there. Also, one of the stamp sets, I'm actually using a set from Pink and Main that is Together Forever, and I'm going to use their die and stamp set they are together with that, and it's a large sentiment stamp that's together, and then it has a lot of sentiments that go with it, and it also has the stamp and the die that goes with it along with the shadow, and I am using that today as well. For all of my SVG sentiments that I'm using, I actually have them listed at the end of the video on a graphic, and it's like prayers, praying, pray, kindness, smile, thank you, thanks, thankful, love, because, amazing, your, blessing, blessings, blessed, and it's a few more. I think it's hugs and hello, I believe, are in there too. So a couple of examples of stamp sets that I'm using in the video with this. I'm using the MFT Amazing. It has really encouraging and sentiments on it, and the one that I'm using with this with Amazing is You're Amazing, Just Thought You Should Know. And I actually put the Just Thought You Should Know on the inside of the card, but I did not get a chance to take a picture of it to put on the inside to do at the end of this. It'll be over on my blog, and of course I'll have the link to my blog in the description below, so you can go over and fill out the little form and get the SVG files for this, for all the little different sentiments. The other ones that I have used or even recommend are some Honeybee Stamps, Thanks and Giving. And she has also, of course, the Thanks and Giving, the dies for this, but I wanted a great big huge bold thick sentiment with this. But the Thanks and Giving stamp set is just amazing stamps and sentiments on here. And the sentiment that I put together from this is, I've used the word my thankful that I created that you'll be able to get, and it's words can't describe how thankful I am for our friendship. I thought that was pretty sweet. And then I did Because You is an MFT stamp set as well, and there is some really beautiful sentiments in that are just this one that I did on this one was because one, you makes this world so much better. I thought that was amazing. And then of course there's Honeybee Kindness, Honeybee Stamps Kindness stamp set, and I used some sentiments from that. And then I have some suggestions, and I'll list these. I'll put these also in the description below in all of the products that I used, but I'll put this at the bottom of the list so that you can click on these and also get these as well to add to your collection. There's Wishes, Smile, and Congrats from Pink and Main. They're smaller stamp sets that have coordinating sentiment dies with the shadow with them, and they are amazing. I have this one with the Together Forever stamp sets, and they are words of encouragement all the way around for that. And then of course there's Honeybee Stamps Happiness. There's the Prayers one from Honeybee Stamps as well, and then there is Sending You Sentiments. And these, any of the Honeybee sentiment stamps would be amazing. There's also the dies that go with those that would be amazing encouragement, love, and kindness that you could send to anybody and share with anybody. There's also the MFT From Me to You stamp set, the Blessing stamp set from Honeybee Stamps, and then there is the Essential Sentiments, and there's an additional stamp set that's with this. There's two more actually that are Essential Sentiments. One is Love, and the other one is More Essential Sentiments that goes with this. There is an older stamp set that if you can find it used, I would recommend that you get it, and it is the Label Maker Love stamp set. And I know that Alta New also has a Label Maker stamp set, and I will include that in this group. I don't have that one though. I'm going to get it. But those are some stamp sets that I will list below, and I have used some of those in the video for the supplemental stamp set to go with this. Okay, real quick for the alcohol backgrounds, because I was talking about stamp sets, I got distracted. So on the first one, I put alcohol, the clear alcohol blending solution on the card, and then I just dropped in all of the different colors and used my blower to blow the ink around. On the second one, I did it dry, and then I blew the ink around, and I got a drop of that clear on that first one, but that's okay, it still turned out beautiful. So these have two different looks, but they're still gorgeous. They're two very, very different looks, but the cards are absolutely amazing. I didn't add anything else to them. So here I cut out everything using my Silhouette Cameo, and it has the shadow along with the word itself, and I die cut with my Cameo, I die cut the word itself twice out of white cardstock, and then I did the background once out of black cardstock for all of them, and I stacked everything up off camera. And I'm just using liquid adhesive. I'm actually using that Elmer's Glue All liquid adhesive right now, and I absolutely love it. It doesn't warp anything. It dries matte, so it doesn't leave a shiny spot like if you're using like anything on it. It doesn't leave a spot. You can't tell it was there. It's pretty awesome. I also stamped all of the additional sentiments to go with the large die cut words. I stamped those in a mini Misty on black cardstock, and I white heat embossed those with detailed white embossing powder. I'm just gluing all of these down to landscape card fronts. I use 110-pound Nina Solar white cardstock for my card fronts, and I'm going to literally just glue these down all on here, and then I am going to center all of the words on the fronts of all of the cards. For the Slimline card, that is the Bold Bright, I also added jewel drops from Nuvo all across the front of it, and as it dries, because those dry they dry clear for the most part with just a hint of color in them, you could also achieve the same effect with glossy accents, but I wanted texture on top of that paint, because after I put the sentiment on it, it just kind of drabbed it out a little bit. I mean, it wasn't enough. So I went ahead and I added all of that for texture on there, and it is absolutely amazing. I love the texture, and I love how these alcohol ink backgrounds came out. My favorite one is the other one. That one. That's my favorite one, the Thankful. That's my favorite card. Absolutely awesome. So here's all the different cards, and then I'm going to go ahead and put all of the dots on the end. Oh, I forgot. I rounded the corners on this because I haven't done that in a long time. So thank you so much for joining me today, and you'll see the cards at the end of the video there, and then you'll also see all the words that you can get in the bundle over on my website, and it's the SVG file is free. So just hop over and grab that for today. And thank you so much for joining me. Send a kind card to everybody you know. Have a great day.